The lawmaker representing Kogi West Senatorial District, Dino Melaye, has been reacting to the incident of Thursday, which he describes as an assassination attempt on his life by some officers of the Nigerian police. The senator told Channels Television that the account by the police is false and illogical. The police yesterday explained that the senator's convoy engaged the officers in a gun duel, which led to the injury of one of his officers, and has asked Senator Dino Melaye to report to its office in Kogi State or be declared wanted. But the lawmaker has faulted the claims by the police, describing the attacks as a clear indication of the intent to kill him. The senator, Dino Melaye, insists that he wrote to the Kogi State Police Command seeking protection for the event he had planned in the state, and also sent 2 other reminder letters, which were transmitted by his lawyer, Mr. Ricky Tafa. But no security provision was made by the police except that provided by the Civil Defense Corps. Senator Dino Melaye told Channels Television that he will honor the invitation by the Kogi State Police Command on Thursday, despite the alleged attempt on his life. The Kaduna State Peace Commission, in collaboration with the Global Peace Foundation, has been meeting with various communities from southern Kaduna following consistent clashes between farmers and herdsmen. Conveners hope that they can help find a solution to the challenges of sustained peace that gradually is returning to the area.
The path to lasting peace is multifaceted. While security operatives cover the ground on the field, it is equally important for critical stakeholders to engage in dialogue. For Southern Kaduna, this complementary effort is ongoing with an all-important meeting organized by the Kaduna State Peace Commission in collaboration with Global Peace Foundation. In attendance at the Kachia meeting are the President of Southern Kaduna People's Union, representatives of Mieti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, as well as religious leaders and other concerned individuals.
What we hope we can gain from being part of this conversation is really hearing directly from the people who are on the ground, people who are in the communities, what are the challenges.
In the course of the deliberations, elders from the Fulani communities and their counterparts from Southern Kaduna People's Union identify political incitement, mutual suspicion and lack of dialogue among the warring parties as some of the factors responsible for the escalation of the conflict.
Politicians are using us, we are killing ourselves, destroying our property. So we have to take time. Let's understand that politics is not something that do or die.
We will always be ready to talk peace. We are people who do not discriminate. We are people who do not believe in bigotry. We are people who believe that all men are created one and we should sit under one umbrella to talk.
We meet every month for constant dialogue. What are the issues? What have you heard that you think I have done wrong? Or what are people saying that you think could trigger problem? Then we address it.
It is expected that participants at this peace-building meeting will take the message to their people back home. And the people will in turn live in peace with one another, irrespective of their religious or ethnic differences.
Nigerians anxious for the signing into law and implementation of the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill, the PIGB, may not wait for too long. The Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Niger Delta Matters, Mr. Edo State, has given the assurance that the bill will soon become law. Mr. Iyamu, who was speaking at a meeting in Abuja, says that the passage of the bill is the key target of the present administration in addressing the issues in the region.
The push for the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill remains a central focus at most events which center on the Nigerian oil sector. And the latest of such is coming from a civil society organization, Facility for Oil Sector Transformation. A key component of discussions here is how oil-producing communities can benefit from the proceeds of natural resources.
We've expected that PIGB, since it's a bill that the entire economic life of this country lies on, should have been a top agenda, but that wasn't entirely the case. But when this 8th Assembly came on board, we've seen that even if it's a bit slow, they've given some considerable attention to it. So part of the things we'll be talking about here is how can we speed up the ascent of the PIGB.
After deliberations by various speakers, solutions were proffered on how to get communities actively involved through the passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill.
Other interventions have failed, essentially because they were not direct to community. MPC, NDDC, these are all interventions that were not direct. The community had no say. You had a federal agency sitting and trying to manage the affairs of some community.
The Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Niger Delta Affairs offers hope on the passage of the bill.
Regarding this bill, which the executive is particularly interested in, because we want there to be sanity in the activities of oil companies vis-a-vis the host communities, especially what is now known as the impacted communities. And I think this bill is meant to address some of the issues surrounding that. With respect to the bill coming to the executive, I'm sure by the time the bill comes in, the required assent will be given. So there's no question at all. You know, we're here to cooperate with the legislature, and we're here to do the executive is here to do the needful. So there's really no issue at all.
The passage of the Petroleum Industry Bill remains key to the attainment of socio-economic development in the country. Nigerians will be watching to see if it will be passed in the days ahead.
Public servants in Edo State will now benefit from the National Housing Fund, with contributions to the scheme expected to commence as early as August 1st, 2018. The decision to participate in the exercise was reached at the conclusion of a sensitization workshop in Benin City, the Edo State capital, where organized labor in the state assured workers that taking part in the housing program conforms with the directive from the national body.
The governor of Edo State, Dino Melaye, joins public servants in rendering solidarity songs in this National Housing Fund sensitization program in Benin City, the Edo State capital. The organized labor in the state, in conjunction with the Federal Mortgage Bank, is here to enlighten the public workforce on the processes of owning houses of their own.
I know Edo State public workers will join the scheme.
According to the financial institution, Edo is one of 6 states yet to key into the housing scheme. The chairman of the Nigeria Labour Congress Edo State chapter, Ima Edomokun, urges the workers to change that narrative. He adds that the national body is fully behind the project.
Before this time, Labour will say we don't have hands in contributing to the housing scheme. Because I was once a chairman of Joint Council where I led the delegation to say no. But this time, it's a directive from our national headquarters, and we believe that the national headquarters and the trade union side and the NSC at the state level will join hands to monitor the Federal Mortgage Bank and the NECA.
In his address, Mr. Obaseki reiterates government's commitment to workers' welfare.
To secure your future, I believe, is one of the most important things you can do for any worker. Because you spend 30, 35 years working, and after you are not able to work anymore, you should be able to continue to live, and live at the same standard that you lived when you were working. The other element in workers' welfare is the issue of housing. By the time you finish working after 30 years, you must have a house of your own. You cannot be a tenant, and you should not be a tenant. And that is my promise and commitment to you.
From the workshop, the organizers will be hoping for a change in the attitude of Edo State's public servants towards public housing programs, leading to their participation in the National Housing Fund.
It's time now for business news on the news at 10 with Ann Waudo.
Thank you, Gimba. Business news begins with the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank holding its 262nd rate decision meeting, and that will happen on July the 23rd and Tuesday, July the 24th. The two-day meeting, which is the third for this year, will consider key issues including the government's monetary policy framework, the GDP growth rate, economic inflation risks. The outcome of the meeting is expected to be announced by the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, on Tuesday, July the 24th. But before that announcement, on Monday next week, the National Bureau of Statistics will release the inflation number for the month of June. Analysts are already predicting, they're saying that inflation number will drop. They, at Financial Derivatives Company, have forecast a 0.51% drop in the inflation rate in the month of June to 11.1% from 11.6%. And that's partly due to the waning base year effects and the normalization of inflation curve. Analysts are saying that while this sounds very good to observers, it's noteworthy to rate the decline of the price level slowing significantly. Nigeria's Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, today addressed some top corporate executives and national business organizations at a forum which seeks to explore the investment opportunities between the United Arab Emirates and Nigeria. Professor Osinbajo says that Nigerian cities like Abuja, Kano, Lagos and Port Harcourt are very attractive investment destinations connecting Africa to the rest of the world through capital, skills and technology, just as Dubai is seen as an attractive business destination connecting the Middle East to the rest of the world. He says the present administration will continue to implement new reforms in the country's business environment to make Nigeria a major global investment destination. The Vice President is expected back tomorrow, July the 22nd. The Standards Organization of Nigeria is advocating the need for African countries to work together to tackle the low level of trade between them. The Director General of SON, Mr. Osita Boloma, and other stakeholders of the agency were speaking at the 12th African Meteorology System AfriMets at the General Assembly and related meetings in Enugu, where over 25 countries attended.
In AfriMet and other continental and international standardization body through the Standard Organization of Nigeria is a deliberate effort in ensuring that the nation participates actively in inter-laboratory comparison among NMIs and post our calibration and measurement capability on the key comparison database called KCDB of the BIPM, coupled with the development of international standards with a view to benefiting immensely from the domestication of same.
And that ends business news for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm Anne Nwawado. It's back to you, Gimba.
This is Channels Television's breaking news.
Well, following up on that breaking story, Senator Ademola Adeleke has been declared winner of the People's Democratic Party governorship ticket in Osun State. Senator Adeleke polled 1,569 votes to defeat his closest rival, Dr. Akin Ogumbi, who polled 1,562 votes, 7 votes difference between the two contestants. Delegates at the primaries, however, demanded for a recount of the ballot papers, but the chairman of the election committee, Governor Siraki Dixon, reportedly refused as he went ahead to declare Senator Ademola Adeleke winner of the governorship ticket. 7 of the 11 aspirants had earlier withdrawn from the race, leaving only 4 candidates to contest for the ticket. Senator Adeleke was elected into the National Assembly in 2017 to represent Osun West shortly after the demise of his brother, who was the serving senator of the constituency before his death. He will confront candidates of other political parties, including that of the APC, Adeboyega Oyetola, in the September 22nd election. Still ahead on the news at 10, 7-time champions Flying Eagles of Nigeria advance in the 2019 Under-20 AFCON in Niger after defeating Mauritania 5-0 in Lagos. That's on Sports News. Stay with us.